Hey, thanks for checking out my video. Today I'm making toffee, homemade toffee. If you've never had homemade toffee before, it's very similar to a Heath bar or a Skor bar. I'm putting almonds in mine. Sometimes you can just make it with just the toffee and the chocolate on top with no nuts at all. But to me, the nuts are what makes it good. So I am putting almonds in mine. And I'm doing a double batch because I have a party that I have to go to in a few days. And I need to take a couple of gifts. They always have what they call a white elephant gift giveaway, and a lot of people take, funny gifts that are like, jokes. And I always take something that I baked, and a lot of times they'll kind of fight over my gifts because they know that it's something that I baked. So this is going to be my gift, my white elephant gift for the party. So if you were doing a single batch, it'd be 1 cup of butter, but I'm doing a double batch, so it's 2 cups of butter, which is a whole block, a whole pound, I should say. So it's actually quite simple, the recipe. If you're doing a single batch, it's 1 cup butter, 1 cup sugar, 1 cup nuts, and 1 cup of chocolate that you put on the top at the end. So it's pretty easy to remember. So I'm going to go ahead and get my sugar in here. And I have this handy dandy spatula that has a thermometer built inside of it so that I can tell when it gets to the stage I need it to get to so that everything will harden up. Okay, so to the butter now I need to add 2 cups of sugar. Half a cup, 1 cup, 1.5, and 2. So in just a minute here, I'm going to change the angle so that you can look right down into the pan, but I'm just getting it started right now. This is just butter and sugar, and when it gets to between 290 and 300 degrees, that's considered hard crack stage, and that's what you want. It's going to get hard. We're going to put chocolate on top of it, and then we're going to break it into pieces. So similar to if you've ever made peanut brittle, same sort of idea, just that this is toffee instead of brittle. Okay, I'm going to move the camera so that you can look down in the pan. Okay, so we got the toffee into the pan. Now I have to let it sit here for just a couple minutes before I put the chocolate on top of it. What we're going to do is we're going to pour the chocolate on top of it in chunks, chocolate chips, or actually what I have is Hershey Kisses here. I'm going to use Hershey chocolate, and but you have to let it sit for just a few minutes. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to tell you why I'm using Hershey's Kisses. I'm a very thrifty, frugal person by nature. I like to save money and I like to get good deals. And Hershey's Kisses you can always get the day after Valentine's Day, the day after Christmas, the day after Easter. Usually 50% off at Walmart or some of the other stores. I never pay full price for them, and I always stock up on them when they're half price. And there's this other closeout store that I go to sometimes that has Hershey's Kisses that are maybe nearing expiration date or whatever, and I buy them and use those. I melt them down. I use them for chocolate covered strawberries. I chop them up. I make chocolate chunk cookies. I use them on things where you put a chocolate topping on something like we're doing here. And Hershey's Kisses come in lots of different flavors. So you can buy the dark chocolate ones, and those would be kind of similar to semi-sweet if you wanted to use those for like some chocolate chunk cookies or a dark chocolate toffee. So anyway, that's one of my tips for buying something cheap, and you can almost always get it half price the day after, and then you're just prepared for the next time you need it. So anyway, this has sat for a little bit, and normally you would be putting chocolate chips on here and letting them melt, but I'm using Hershey Kisses and they're bigger. So what I'm gonna do to get them to melt, I have my oven heating up right now, and I'm gonna put them in the oven for just a minute to help melt these Hershey Kisses, because these are much bigger than a standard chocolate chip. I don't know why I'm trying to put those on so perfectly, it doesn't matter. So if it were chocolate chips, you would just throw them on, put like something over the top to keep the heat in for like 5 minutes, and then they would be melted. But these Hershey's Kisses are a lot bigger, chunkier, so they're gonna need a little help melting. So I'm just gonna throw them in the oven for just a minute to help them melt. Okay, so I've got the chocolate on there. I'm gonna throw these in the oven for just a minute, and then we're gonna spread the chocolate around. Okay, so we're gonna spread, I just pulled these out of the oven so that Hershey's Kisses got soft, and we're gonna spread them around. But I wanted to tell you, as far as the nuts, you can use pecans if you'd like. What I did is I just bought a bag of roasted salted almonds, and I put them in my food processor and chopped them up. I like almonds with chocolate. I think it goes really good, and so does pecans, but for toffee I like almonds. So, but you can use whatever you want. So anyway, gonna spread this chocolate around. And if you don't have an offset spatula like this, that's okay. Since I do cake decorating, I have all of these tools, but you could use just a regular rubber spatula. I'm gonna kind of try to smooth it so it looks, nice on top. Okay, so now, show this to you. And I'm going to sprinkle I saved some of the almonds, I'm going to sprinkle them on top. It's really not that hard to make, but when you give it to somebody as a gift, people really think, oh, that's a difficult thing to make. It's really not. As long as you have a thermometer and you can get to the temperature you need to get to, it's really a piece of cake. Okay, so I'm just gonna go through and make sure these nuts make contact so that they stick and they don't just roll right off as soon as I cut this toffee into pieces. Now we're going to have to let this sit in the fridge for about 2 hours before it is ready for us to break apart into pieces. So there it is. We're gonna put this in the fridge, and in 2 hours I'll be back and we'll break it into pieces. Okay, so our toffee is all done. It's chilled. It's ready to be broken up. You can try to cut it into uniform pieces, but it'll never work. You just kind of have to, it just breaks. So I'll take my knife and try to cut, but it just breaks into pieces like that. But that's what you want. I'm gonna just keep going. I'm getting lots of good pieces here. Like I said, this is going to be a gift, so I'm going to put it into a tin. The nicer, bigger pieces, the little small pieces, that's what I'll eat. So here I have a nice gift to give somebody. Everybody always likes to get something homemade. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have good luck when you make this. You just got to make sure you get it to the right temperature between 290 and 300, and it works out great. Turned out perfect. So do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. It's free to you, and it helps me to make more videos, and you'll get a notification if I put out a new video. And check out more thrifty quick recipes at Rhonda's Thrifty Kitchen, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.